Hey guys, happy Tuesday. How we doing? How's it going? It is so cold and so rainy here today. I don't know. Hey, Lenny. I don't know what happened to our springtime weather here in North Carolina, but it's gone. Thank you guys. It is gone. It is gone. So it's cold. And so I figured we're going to work with a little spring bunny rabbit, and hopefully that'll make me feel better about it all. Because I told you guys, if you remember, I said, hey, we're having our fake spring. And I was not wrong, y'all. It's cold again. Hey, Kim. But some of my friends I've seen have snow and freezing stuff. And I have to say, at least ours is a very, very cold rain. You guys keep all that white fluffy stuff to yourself. I'm not about it. I'm ready. I'm ready for spring. But today we're going to have some fun. We're going to design a grapevine wreath. We're going to do a happy Easter. The camera doesn't show this very well, but this is kind of like a light blue, almost a powder blue design that we're going to be working with. And hey, Kim, thank you for all those shares. I see that. Snow in here in 32. See what I mean? There's one of my Kim friends that I'm talking about. She is in Ohio. And you guys up north, keep your weather. I love you, but we got a taste of that. And this southern girl right here, I don't want any more of it. I just don't. So hopefully it's going to warm up soon, y'all. I'm working today on an 18-inch oval grapevine. I really enjoy working with oval grapevines. And one of the reasons that I choose something like this is because this is a longer sign. And so I wanted that grapevine to kind of come around the bunny when I start to add florals. So that's how sometimes I think to choose my grapevines, is I'm looking at my focal point, the sign that I'm using. And so he's a longer sign. And so the grapevine itself is longer just because I want to support that sign and put all kinds of pretty florals around it. So we're going to get started. I appreciate you all being here with me. You know, I'm still getting back into the groove of these lives. I promised you guys. I took a much needed break after the really busy holiday season. And you know, when you have not been going live for a while, it takes a little bit of time to get back in the groove of things. I don't know about that for you guys, but that's the way that it is for me, is I just kind of have to make myself do it and do it. We're going to really be pulling in these light blues. This design is rather simple. It is blue and white. Yes, I could have added in some complementary colors, but I wanted to stick with just blue and white on this. Really simple, really spring, really light. I just think that it's going to be really, really pretty. Hey, Jen. Hey, I missed you too, girl. Get in here. I'm glad that you guys are here with me. My friends are on here. All right, so I was almost ready to start designing this thing, and I was like, wait a minute. I got to hit the live button and do this with my friends. That shows you how out of practice I am. But I've made my bow. And guys, don't be afraid to put patterns together. Do you see that I used this plaid with polka dots? So when I tell you guys that there are no rules in wreath making, there really are no rules in wreath making. You are the designer. Hey, Claudia. You're the designer, so do what you want to. So you can mix up all the patterns and all the things. It's hard to find just a plain white ribbon, so we're just using a canvas ribbon. Really, really basic ribbon on this, but it makes a statement when you put it with some other colors. So I've already got my zip tie in here. You guys know that for me personally, I like to zip tie my bows in. Everybody's a little bit different. There's numerous ways that you can do this. You could use bind wire. You could use floral wire. You could use a Chanel stem. You see where I'm going with this? It's whatever works best in your hands and in your design. Now, remember what we talked about last week when I said, don't cinch down this zip tie really, really tight. Why? Because if you do that, if you start to cinch this down really, really tight, guess what happens? These bows right here will sink in, and all of a sudden your bow starts to look like this, and you lose the integrity of these loops. So if you don't tighten that up so much and you keep it loose, then the bow is still secured to the grapevine, but your loops they're going to be what I call loopy. They're going to keep their shape. So just a little pearl for you. You know, I like to give these pearls as we're hanging out together. That's a little pearl for you. You just want it to be secure to the grapevine where it's not going to come off, but also you want to keep the integrity of your bow, those loops. Thank you, Rosie. There's my friend Rosie. I was watching my friend Rosie this morning. She's in all the places. She's fantastic. She is what I call one of the queens of mesh. So Rosie definitely can show you all the ropes on mesh. So I highly recommend that you watch her if you don't already. You guys know I don't even do that much with mesh, and I watch Rosie. She is very inspiring and does beautiful designs and work. And she'll give you all kinds of tips along the way too. So she's one of my friends. Give her a follow if you're not. All right. So we have our bow attached. Now notice something else. I left my bow tails longer. Why? Because we're working on that oval grapevine, right? So you want the grapevine to support your sign, that long length, right? If we had a circle sign, then perhaps we would do a circle grapevine, right? So just think about that. That's another little pearl for you, that when you're picking out your sign, if you are a grapevine person and that's what you like to do, it kind of determines the size and shape of the grapevines that you're going to use, okay? All right, so you're trying not to do that. Kim, you know what? It's really simple to do that. It's really simple to get caught up on that. Honestly, for a while when I was making grapevines, and you guys know, making bows is one of the struggles of a wreath maker. It's one of the hardest things. I don't care who you are. Like, it's hard to master bows, right? It takes time. And I would get so discouraged because I'm like, okay, now I kind of know what I'm doing with a bow, but why does my bow not look right in my wreath? And I was just pulling it too tight. So you do need to get some oval grapevines. I highly recommend it. They're very pretty. It's just a different shape. And you'll see this come together. The mechanics part of it with making a grapevine is the same. It's just the shape of the grapevine, and I really, really love them. My favorite is the 18-inch ovals, honestly. You've seen me design on the circle ones, and my favorite for those, depending on what I'm doing, is if it's a sign that I'm working with that's circle, I like to do a 16-inch grapevine with a 10-inch sign. If it's a very large sign, then I'm going to move up to a very large oval and like the 11.75 circle sign. So you can't turn a circle grapevine into an oval. I mean, you can try. I don't recommend it. Kind of probably hard on the hands. However, get you an oval one and try it out. I got to show you something. I'm all over the place today, but I'm really excited. I got in this deluxe ribbon. Guys, are you loving this? And let me see if I can go ahead and mirror you so that you can see better. Just bear with me. The deluxe ribbons, I'm absolutely loving these. For anybody starting out, this is a happy medium between a ribbon that is, I don't like to say basic, but a generic ribbon that you can probably get for 4 or 5 cookies a roll, right? Whereas this one might be $7 or $8 a roll, depending. But the difference is how it feels. Look underneath. Do you see this? This right here is double-sided. It's got that beautiful color on the back. It's got a very nice wire in it. It's deluxe ribbon. But you know the beautiful thing about this? It's not like, let me grab one of these. One of your luxury ribbons over here. And we all know we love our fair silks, right? This is luxury ribbon. This is a high-end ribbon. This costs more cookies to use. This is a nice, cost-effective way for you to even see if you like the thickness of a ribbon before you go to invest in something like this. It's a way to just try it out, get the feel of a nice ribbon. But I was so excited to get this. I have plans for these, guys. I got some new designs coming out with these. But try this out. The deluxe ribbon, for me personally as a wreath maker, I really do like it a lot, and I'm excited for it. These are obviously wonderful, wonderful. But give that a shot. Give those deluxe ribbon a shot. They're in all the places. Craft outlets carrying them. Creek Road's carrying them. Wholesalers, if you can do that, they're carrying them too. But give them a try. Give them a try and see. I've been really pleased with them. I really like them a whole lot. They come in all sizes. I also have this one here, and you guys can see that's beautiful too. Beautiful. So, you like the polka dots I had. Girl, I got that on a huge sale. Because you know I'm pretty frugal now. I like the nice things, but I like when they're on sale. I'm not gonna lie to you. But anyway, I digress and I'm sorry. Try those deluxe ribbons. I think you're gonna like them. Go to your favorite place you like to get stuff. Craft Outlet has them. Our friends at Creek Road have them. You can find them in lots of places, but give them a try. All right, so let's go ahead and get a base built on this. I'm loving the ficus. I know lots of designers are using this. I am one of them. Hey, Kaylin, how are you, girl? So yes, you too. Champagne on. I hear you. Yes, indeed. That's what we always pick around about here. And every now and then I splurge, but it's not often. Most of the luxury ribbon that I have, friends, I've gotten at least half off. At least. Hey, Shira. Hey, y'all. So, ficus, huge. It's coming in all of the colors. You guys have seen it. Yashira's been showing it. She's got it in her shop too. Like, it comes in all of the colors. We're going to be using this green, and let me tell you why. I picked the green because I'm also going to be using this maidenhair fern, and I wanted the shade to be similar in this. I had picked out the sage green, but I put my maidenhair with it, and I did not like it. I didn't like that combo. So I decided, nope, we're going to go with just our green here to build our base. You guys have watched me before, most of you. And in case you haven't, let me stop being rude. If you're new here, my name is Misty. I'm the owner and designer of Little Luxuries. I love to make home decor. My favorite thing to make are grapevines. They just speak to me. I love florals. I love taking a plain grapevine, building it out and making it beautiful, and then seeing it on somebody's door who trusted me to make it for them. It's just the icing on the cake. So I love grapevines. I do make mesh. My friends in here are giggling. It's not often, but I do make mesh, and I have some beautiful, talented wreath making friends, and that is their jam. They love mesh, but I can do mesh. Centerpieces, swags, all the things. I love to do it. So thanks for being here. If you're new, this is a great group. Do not be afraid to comment or say hello. We are kind here, and if somebody is not kind, they're getting out of here. Seriously. So, anyway, let's get started with our ficus. I always cut this down because this is what I like to call a honkin' branch. Do y'all know what that means? It means real big, y'all. These ficus branches are big, and obviously I cut them down because I want to make sure that I don't have like this big tree hanging out of my wreath. I'm being facetious, but you get the point. You got to chop these things down into smaller pieces. Hey, everybody. Hey, y'all. Thanks for being here. Thank you so much, Jen. You know, the mesh wasn't terrible. It's just not my jam. Y'all know that. Y'all that know me, if you know, you know. It's just not my favorite thing to work with. I was picking around with some of my friends. A lot of them in here, they make beautiful mesh wreaths, and it's primarily what they work with. And we were chit-chatting, and I said, you know what? Do you know, hey Marilyn, do you know the, when you buy oranges at the grocery store, and they come in that bag, that's what mesh reminds me of, just touching that. I don't know. Well, hello, Michelle. How are you? Speaking of, this is perfect timing. I just released my video today, but you guys go ahead and mark your calendars now because I do have a collaboration with our friends at Creek Road Designs on February the 26th. Y'all at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Greg and Michelle, I'm going to be drinking all kinds of coffee that night. All kinds of coffee. Because you guys know I normally don't do later, but we wanted you guys to have access. Those of you that work daytime jobs, we wanted you to be able to be with us and watch the collaboration. It is my hope that you will join us at 8 o'clock p.m. on February the 26th. Check out my TikTok page. Actually, just a little bit ago, I released the video. I showed you what I'll be making, all the things I'll be making it with. And towards the end of that video, I even gave you the reference numbers. So if you want to go ahead and get your supplies now at creekroad.net, you can make with me. We can design. I'm glad you guys will be there. Yeah, I love collabs too. I love collabs too. But that way, if you want to design, this is a great way because yes, I give you pearls, and yes, I talk a lot on my lives, but there I'm going to be really focused on telling you what I'm using, how the product is, what I'm doing with it. So if you're new to grapevines or you want to give grapevines a shot, that's a great way to go ahead, support their business, and then also be able to design alongside with me. No pressure. You don't have to. You can just chill out and relax and watch me and then order later. But if you want to, then you certainly can. I'm glad you guys will be there. It's always fun when my friends are there. And I'm going to tell you guys something. I can always count on you. This wreath community is incredible. This wreath community is second to none. And I have to tell you guys that I honestly, as much as I love what I do, I am honored to be a part of a community like this. Because it's not a lot of places, if you think about it, when you really think about it, where somebody does the exact same thing you do, right? But you show up, you love on those people, and you cheer them on. And in this community, that's exactly what we have built. And it's amazing. Do you guys know that you'll flourish more? This is a pearl, an important one. You will flourish more if you will encourage those that are doing the same thing you're doing. I promise you there's enough doors for everybody in here to have a very successful business and to put your designs out there for everybody to see. Have the right attitude and cheer your friends on. That's what makes us special. That's what makes us united on here. For everybody to see. Have the right attitude and cheer your friends on. That's what makes us special. That's what makes us united on here. So encourage, and they need a little encouragement because let's be real, it's hard sometimes. You guys remember when you are starting out, it's a lot you don't know how to do. Friends, do you remember shipping your first wreath? It is scary. And now, you know, we flip the boxes up and we're going and it's no big deal. But you know what? I will never forget the first time that I got an order and I had to ship that wreath. I was terrified. Lifting others up, it doesn't dull your shine. Perfectly said, Claudia. So, go out there and help somebody. Come alongside of them. Let them know they can do it. Encourage them. There's so many things that tell us that we can't do something. Why don't you be the difference and tell somebody and believe in them that they can do it? Right? That they can do it. It makes all the difference. I have had very supportive folks in my life, and I'm very fortunate that I do. But not everybody has that. So you go out and encourage them, and encourage them to live their dream, build their dream. Terrified. See, Kim is saying right there, Kimberly Designs, she is saying, listen, terrified. Literally, guys. First off, I did the biggest dance ever because I got a cha-ching, right? The first cha-ching. And I'm like, what? You know, dancing. I'll never forget it. I was thrilled. But then all of a sudden that adrenaline runs down. You're like, oh no, I got to ship this thing. So then there was that realization of, oh my word, how do I do this? And then there's the whole prayer that they like it, that it arrives, not damaged by UPS. You can do it. I promise you can do it. But it's a lot easier if you have somebody alongside saying, hey, yeah, I remember that. It's not so bad. You're going to be fine. So find your people. That's what I'm telling you. Find your people. Lean on me. That's right, Claudia. Lean on me. And if you ever have questions, reach out. Reach out. There are actually people that will help you. They will help you. And a lot of them are right here in this live. Hey, sweet Ann. How are you, friend? I hope you're feeling better. I hope things are going well for you. All right, so do you see that? That was literally one branch of my ficus. Do you see this thing? That's why I tell you, break this up in smaller pieces, put it in the grapevine, because we literally took one of these and we filled the foundation, as I like to call it, the foundation of our grapevine. And do you notice something? This right here, I need one little piece right there. One little piece. The ribbon was covering it. So I'm gonna, all right. So one of these and a little piece is what we're gonna do. But do you notice how this forms the shape of my design? This forms the shape of my design. Okay? So that can be the outline right there for your wreath. But I moved that ribbon. Y'all, I got a little space right here. Don't have any ficus whatsoever. I gotta fix that. That's why I tell you, you gotta lift up those ribbons and be ready to put stuff where it needs to be, because that was a little bare spot. That wouldn't have been good, would it? We would have found it eventually, but I'm glad we found it now. All right, so we're gonna step away from the ficus. As I like to say, a dab will do ya of that. You guys can see this wreath already looks full, and we literally have that one ficus piece in there. So you had to make a box because I thought I'd never. But see, and now I have to brag on my friend Kim. Guys, she's got a heart of gold, and I love her. I have many Kims in my life I love, but I'm talking about CLK Designs right there. I remember her first live, and she was terrified, but she did it. I remember her first sale. She was terrified, but she did it. My friend now has many sales, but I've watched her journey, and it has just been amazing. I'm super proud of her. And look, we're all living proof that you can do it, right? You can do it. She is thriving. Her designs are gorgeous. I have watched her just continue. Her designs were always pretty, but her designs are just more elevated now, beautiful, and she's doing all the things. And it's because she put in the work. And she did it even when she was scared, very scared, right, Kim? She did it. So you guys can do it too. All right. I am going to go ahead and I'm going to move on. You're going to see me do something a little bit different than I typically do. I'm moving on to my focal flower right here, my focal flower. And I don't like the leaves in this one. They look really fake to me, really plasticky, and I'm a leaf snob. So I am not going to use this at all. I'm going to actually just push them down and leave them off. When I'm doing my florals with this, by the way, this is ranunculus. You do not have to know the name of florals, but some of my friends are trying to learn, so I'm going to help you. A ranunculus flower, one of my favorites. But I leave the stem longer to allow me to build and bend into the wreath. And we're going to start by just putting one right here, okay? So you put a little bit of glue up there and put it right into the grapevine. You got to make sure you connect with the grapevine, because I'm leaving this longer because I do want it to kind of stick up right there. And if you don't have a good connection, it might fall out. So we're just going to let that sit there, okay? Don't be ranunculus. I love that saying. Don't ask me why. I know that's kind of corny, but every time I use that flower, I think about that. Don't be ranunculus. All right, we're going to continue to cut down the stem. And when I say that I leave them longer, I leave them longer, okay? And then we're just going to continue. Remember, what I do to one, I'm going to do to the other. So I'm going to go ahead and come down here to the bottom of my grapevine down here. Oh man, it's really raining now. Really raining. I hear it through the window. They said it was going to, though. And bend it up, okay? Because remember, in nature, things kind of tilt. They don't grow just perfectly straight, right? So we want to bring our florals to life, and that's how we start to do it, is to just leave them longer, those stems longer. And guess what? If you have a longer stem and it ends up being too long, you can always cut it shorter. Hey, thanks. But you cannot add to the stem, right? Miss Connie, thank you for that gift, girl. I appreciate that. All right, so let's cut another floral. And we're just going to evenly distribute these. That's what we start to do. Just start to build them all around. And you'll start to see where areas of the grapevine need a little something. We're going to go right into this. Bend that out. Now see, if I just put that in there and I had left that stem short, I wouldn't be able to bend that up. And that flower would not peek out right there. And I want it to. I want you to be able to see that floral on this side. So that's why I do that, friends. That's why I do that. Continuing to build around. And some people say, well, how many florals? As many as your heart desires. Once you start putting this in the grapevine, here's a trick. When you start putting this into the grapevine and it's not making a difference, or it's so crowded you can't see the flower and it doesn't have its own space, that might be the time that you want to not add so many florals or start taking some away. That's a good indicator. Because, you know, as much as I would like to say, oh, you can't have too many flowers, let's be real, friends, you can have too many flowers. So there's just kind of that happy medium when you're building this out. And just like with anything, the more you do it, the more progress you'll make, right? Progress over perfection. Progress over perfection. You don't have to be perfect at it. So we're just going to add this in here. You see this starting to take shape? Already it's starting to look very, very pretty, isn't it? You can step back from your design and look, I can see I need to start building here and down here. You can, trust me. Kim is saying you can do that, trust me. Hey Kim, trust me, when I started out, sometimes I was like, holy moly, I have way too many florals in this thing. And y'all know my saying, when in doubt, rip it out. Let me tell y'all something. I was ripping them things out because I had flowers everywhere. And it wasn't a good thing either. You definitely can have too many. See these leaves? I don't like them. So I don't save these. And you know, as wreath makers, it's hard for us to say we don't save stuff. But I don't save those leaves. I don't like them. That's just me personally. I did get these ranunculus. I think Craft Outlet is where I got these bad boys. You've been reworking a lot from last spring. You know what? That's a really good point. I'm glad that you said that, because as you make wreaths, what starts to happen is you get better at it. All right? Everybody does. Think about it. You start to refine your skill. You start to learn more. You start to be more comfortable. If you see something, which I need to take my own advice, but if you see something that you started out making and you go back in your shop and you're like, that is not even what I do now. One, it's a great reminder to say, look how far you've come. But you can actually take that wreath and rework it. Take things out, add stuff to it, because your skill has improved. So go ahead and do that. Take the stuff out of it, rework the wreath. And then, guess what? Relist it. I have done that, and guess what happened? I redone the wreath, I redone the listing, and then, cha-ching, it sold. It looked better. Sometimes you gotta hold this and support this just a little bit to get that floral right where you want it. That's what you're seeing me do, friends. I'm finding the spot that I want it, and then I'm gonna bend and hold. Yep. All right. So you can start to see, I need one over here, but you can start to see how we're building this out with florals, right? How's everybody's Tuesday been? What are y'all up to? Have you been busy? What designs are you working on? If you're a wreath maker, what are you doing in your shop right now? It's that calm before the Easter rush and the spring rush, isn't it? What designs are you thinking about? Or making? Or making? Everyday wreaths. Happy wreaths, that's smart. Lots of simple designs. Kim, I love that. I've had the opportunity to see some of your designs, and they are absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Love them. Spring right now. Awesome, Kim. Yeah, it's that time where we can be kind of all over the place, can't we? All right, I want to show you something. I don't like that. I don't like that. So I'm going to heed my own advice, and you're going to see me gently, I say rip, but gently take this out of the grapevine. When in doubt, rip it out. I just don't like the placement of this. So I'm glad you're getting to see me do this. Now, look what happened. A little bit of my ficus came out. No big deal. Guess what? We'll take the dried glue off. We'll put the ficus back in, and I'll position that flower where I want it to be. I like you guys to see that because I tell you, I do it. When in doubt, rip it out. If you don't like where something is, reposition it. You're trying to make more grapevine wreaths. Kaylin, you can do it, girl. You can do it. Your mesh wreaths are so pretty. It just takes practice, just like when you started those mesh wreaths. That's all that it takes. Just put in the time and the effort on the grapevines, and before you know it, you're going to be an expert cranking those out and hopefully loving those grapevines. It's just different. It's a different technique. Flowers can be very intimidating for folks, but I promise you, if you keep doing it, you'll be able to do it. All right, I like that better. Sometimes the flowers give you an attitude, but you have to show them who's boss. You got to show them who's boss. Much better, because that's more centered now and much better placement. Okay, I like this a lot. Let me go ahead and tell you something that I'm seeing that I know just because I've made grapevines for a while. Do you see this bare spot right here? I just need to put a little bit more ficus in there, just a tad, because I want to make sure in this design, it's not an airy design, so I don't want a lot of this grapevine exposed. So I want to make sure that it's covered. So I'm going to add just a tad bit more ficus. See, y'all, I said, look, we just used a little ficus, and here I am adding more. But I do think it's important to make sure that we get that coverage on the grapevine. So we're going to add it in. I wish sometimes that you guys could be right here with me, because I know that the camera doesn't capture everything exactly the way that I wish that it would. But hopefully you're kind of seeing what I'm doing. And like I said, the more that you practice, the more that you'll see these things and know. Now, when I start to put other things in, that's just a good foundation right there. That was just a blank spot right there. And even though the ficus is foundation, and honestly, there's just a little bit of this that you're going to see once I design. When I start to put things in, it will really help, but it's just a good foundation piece to start out, because you want to make sure that you don't have all of that exposed. All right. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I love it. Now let's go ahead and start to add in some fillers with this. And this is where you're really going to start to see this grapevine take shape, okay? These are some filler flowers that I'm using, and they tie in perfectly with the blue. It's literally a flower bush right here. It's got some fern on it, but do you see the blue in these little bitty flowers right here? Look at that. That's going to tie in really pretty. It's just going to draw the eye to the blue and break up some of the white, because we have a lot of white going on in here with the ranunculus flowers, so this just breaks that up a little bit. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to add that. I'm going to put my ranunculus aside. I think we're done with that. Also, I have over here a little cup, just like I always tell you guys, because I have to go after somebody makes a wreath. If you're in business, that's not the end of it. That's not the end of it. Perfect match. Thank you. Thanks for the gift. I appreciate that. That's not the end of it. You still got pricing. You still got glamour shots. You still got all the things that you've got to do to list it in your shop. So you love the blue. I do too. I do too. It ties in really perfectly, like I said, and the camera doesn't do it justice at all, but it really does tie in well. There again, this right here, this bush has so much of this on it. It's a nice coverage as well. Okay. Hey, Laurel, would you slip in here, girl? I didn't even see you. come in. Slipping in under the radar, sister. All right, so look at that. Just that little bit right there. Look at the difference in that. I'm going to pull this a little bit closer because I want you to be able to see it. We have literally added just right there. And look how it ties in with the ranunculus. But look at this green and how it's starting to fill up the grapevine. All right. It really works well with that focal floral right there, that ranunculus, because this is a bigger flower. So these smaller flowers just tie in perfectly. They do. Thanks, Ann. I like it. I'll be honest, I like the Carolina blue color. Duke fans here in North Carolina, don't come for me. I'm just saying, this Carolina blue is looking real pretty on this wreath now. And then I always I don't like these leaves. I'm going to take this one off. I just don't like them, guys. I really don't. It's kind of that plastic, real fake feel of a leaf. So I'm going to take that off. But I'm just going to continue to come around and fill this in. Now, a lot of people will ask me, they're like, Misty, honestly, starting out, what level is this grapevine? And I'm going to be real with you. I'm not going to tell you a story. If you're starting out making grapevines, this is a more intermediate grapevine. And here's the reason I'm going to tell you. Because there's many pieces to this. There's not just one floral bush that you're doing all the way around. You've got a sign you've got to learn to attach. You've got a bow you've got to learn to make and attach. You've got to know some principles of the flowers, how to pick that out and put them together. So quite honestly, if you are just starting out, you might want to wait before you tackle something like this. Just because I don't want you to get frustrated and say, I can't do that, or this is crazy, or this is too hard. Start out with something, guys, that's a little simpler, and then that way you won't get so discouraged. Sometimes if you do just like an all floral, one or two simple tree bushes. What's a tree bush? Y'all know what I mean. Floral bushes. That's more just filler, no bow, no sign. That's more of a simple grapevine. I'm still trying to figure out what a filler tree is. Good gracious, y'all. I need coffee. It's almost coffee time. Thanks, Shashira. You're from North Carolina, Nana. Well, I am near Greensboro. I'm near Greensboro. So, hello, my North Carolina friend. All right. Speaking of, where are you guys watching from? I know some of you. I know I've got North Carolina friends in here, Tennessee, Ohio, Kentucky. Here I am telling y'all and I'm asking you, but where are you from? Put your state in there. And have you watched me before? I know most of your beautiful faces that are in here. Delaware's in the house. Fayetteville area. Yay! Hey! That's awesome. I know exactly where that is. Exactly. Sunny Florida. Yes, Laurel. Kentucky, Wisconsin. Kim, you are not new here. You are telling tales. But I love you anyway. Nevada. My friend from Nevada. Well, welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. You're not new. Some of my friends on here are telling tales. Yashir, you are not new. You are not new. Okay? I love you, but you're not new. You guys are funny. Ohio. I do appreciate every one of you spending your time with me. I don't take that for granted. I might say that every live, but I really mean it. You could be anywhere you're spending time with me, so thank you for being here and watching me design. I love doing this, guys. It's my passion, and I get to do it every day, and I am so thankful. But thanks for watching me. All right, do you guys see what I'm doing? Just kind of equally spacing these out. And just that little pop of blue is making the biggest difference for sure. For sure. And when I can take that bottom leaf off, I am. There's one kind of in here I'm leaving just because this is a pusher and I'd have to take a lot of it apart, and I don't think it's worth it for that, but this is pretty. Oh, thank you so much, Nona. I appreciate you saying that. You know, I really like to see people learn. So thank you for saying I'm a good teacher. That means a lot to me, more than you will know, especially at this season in my life. So thank you. All right, do you see this? Look, we're filling in, filling in. Now, we still need some over here. You can start to see, because you want your eye to go all the way through the design and be able to flow. So for example, you wouldn't want a flower here and then just a flower here and no other flowers, because your customer's eye is going to be like, what? Flower here, here, but it doesn't flow through your design, right? So you want to make sure that you're doing that, so you're going all the way through your grapevine. The more you do it, the more you'll know. Oh, my friend Grace is in here. Hey, thank you for being in here. I've been thinking about you and saying prayers for you, girl. I hope you're doing well today. All right. So we're going to keep on filling in. And don't forget, another pearl. Step back from your design and you'll be able to see exactly where you need to go with things. Make sure you're making good contact with that grapevine so that your flowers stick in there and stay, because you don't want your flowers and stuff falling out. And if you don't connect to that grapevine, they're going to come out. They're going to come out. All right. Doing okay. You've been walking a bit. Okay, that's progress. I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear it. Let me know if you need anything. Let me know. All right. I'm going to continue to come in here. And also, I always hear, well, Misty, what if I put these flowers in and they go all the way through the back of my grapevine? Don't sweat that. At the end, you look at the back of your grapevine, you inspect it, you take a little pair of snippers, and I have different sizes because I'm extra. You don't have to have all the things starting out. But I have a smaller and a larger pair, and you just snip the back and clean it up. It's not a big deal. And honestly, the more that you do it, the better that you get at things like this, and you won't have as much of that stuff that sticks out of the back. But it happens to all of us. It doesn't matter how long you've been making wreaths. When you're going into the grapevine, it's a natural product. It's made differently. So sometimes these stems will come out the back of the grapevine. And that's all right. Don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. All right. That's what you do. Yep, Kim. It happens. It's okay. Literally coming all the way around. And then do you guys see how you can maneuver your flowers around? Definitely do that. Put them where you want them. There's always a little bit of bend in most florals, so just maneuver them and get them positioned where you want them to be. All right. And then, as I always say, I step back from the design and I can see other places. There's going to be more filler, so I'll have more things going in here, but I just want to make sure that I've got things exactly where they need to be. And we can always come back and add more of this particular flower bush as we need it. Okay, so if you stop using something, don't forget, you've seen me go back to that ficus 2 times. You can always go back in and add to it. Nothing wrong with that. All right. I also like that these are pushers. Y'all know what that means, right? Some of you, just in case you're new, that means you can move the flowers up and down. A pusher is one of my favorite flower bushes to use. You can bring it to life. You can make it look the way that you want to do it. You can make the flowers be more compact or less compact by doing that. All right. This is coming together really nicely. Can you guys see this? Look at that. All kinds of pops of blue. Do you see how it goes throughout? So it's drawing the eye throughout the entire grapevine. Okay. All right. And we'll keep on adding for sure. Okay. So now I'm going to move on, and I want to put in some of this. This is one of my favorite filler flower bushes. You can get this from a big box store. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. Yes, Sandra, I'm working on a grapevine. It's filling up, but when we first got here, this was a blank grapevine. It was an 18-inch oval grapevine. okay? This is one of my favorite floral bushes. This comes from Hoblob. It comes in all colors. Well, I say all colors: white, yellow, pink, and purple, I know for sure. But this is a pusher, okay? That means you can also, once again, make this more or less compact. But this fills in beautifully. You remember when I told you these areas I need to fill in? It gives a little pop of color, but it's a great filler floral, okay? Yeah, I love this one too. Kim, I have this in all colors, and I have a plethora in there. If I took you guys to my supply room where I have my floral wall, some of you have seen it. It just looks like spring threw up in there. I mean, there's flowers everywhere hanging out of bins. It's beautiful, but I got a lot of stuff. A lot of my friends that know me know that I really will go ahead and buy some of my favorite things so that I've got it, because I use them a lot in a lot of my wreaths, okay? No, maybe I'll show you sometime. I'll show you sometime. I'll have to take you in there and let you see. I literally use the floral buckets, and they are on a pegboard, and it's just a whole beautiful wall of flowers. So, you just bought some purple and white. Yes. And you're going to love those. They are beautiful. And for my mesh friends, if grapevines are not your jam, these are also great filler flowers for your mesh. You know, when you're putting in some of the florals and things that you want to add to your mesh wreath or your mesh swag, that's a great filler bush to be able to do that with. You guys already know that Hoblob every other week. Wait till it's on sale, and then it's very cost effective to buy them. It's a great bush. And it's just got almost like a rubber texture, if you will. It's just a nice filler bush. It's kind of a better quality one than some of the ones that I've seen. You bet it's beautiful. Sometimes it's a mess. Sometimes it gets to be a mess in there. If we're all honest, do any of y'all sometimes have your shops looking a mess? Because I do. Where do I get my grapevines? Sandra, I am fortunate enough that where I am, I live 10 minutes from my wholesaler. Literally 10 minutes from my wholesaler. So I go and handpick my grapevines. I'm able to see them, touch them, feel them. Because you know, y'all know, all grapevines are not created equal. Okay, some of them are not pretty. It's a natural product, so I am pretty picky about the ones that I use. Some of them have all kinds of leaves in them. I always say it looks like a jungle in them. Seriously, I'm not being funny. So I'm real selective with my grapevines. Great question, but I'm fortunate enough that I can buy them wholesale right here. I'm located in North Carolina. That's why you hear my strong southern accent. I'm a North Carolina girl. All right. You guys have great questions. And if it's your first time watching, don't be scared to ask questions, okay? If I don't know the answer, I won't pretend that I do. But if there's something I can help you with, just ask. Okay? Yeah, Michael's lately, I'm going to be honest, it's hit or miss. It's very hit or miss. I've had times where I've gotten some from Michael's, and they're great. Sometimes I get some from Michael's, and they're terrible. I mean, really and truly, I stopped having them shipped to me because I would get them, and guys, there would be so many gaps in the grapevine. I couldn't even get the florals to connect. And I did try to take some bind wire and zip ties and make the grapevine tighter, and it was still awful. So I've stopped having them shipped, but sometimes it's hit or miss. It is hit or miss. Yes, see, it's more miss than hit. You're right. Every now and then, you're fortunate and you get a good batch that's shipped to you, but they're hard to find. They really are. Actually, a lot of my friends, we always say in the wreath community, we would pay a little bit extra if the grapevines were better and clean. I pay extra for them. I really would. So I hear you guys' frustrations on that. You're not alone. As wreath makers, we all have that, where we wish, honestly, we wish that there were better grapevines. So that's one of the reasons that I go and put my hands on them. So Hobby Lobby has some really good ones over the last couple weeks. Good to know. And hey, Angela, girl, when'd you get in here? It's another one of my wreath buddies. They are hit or miss, but sometimes, yes. Angela, if you can go in there and see them, feel them, shop, I have bought them from there before. If I'm in a pinch or the wholesaler is running low, I will go in there and pick some up. So yes, ma'am, you certainly can. Just a little bit. Well, I'm glad you're here. They had garland on clearance in the wedding section. Yes. Actually, I am working on a garland now. It's sitting over here. A big old garland. Look at that. But I like to buy garlands and add to them. I like to add to them. So if I find some that's on clearance, and then I can go ahead and put my spin on it and add stuff to it. First time here in Mississippi, welcome Sandra, welcome in. My name is Misty. I'm the owner and designer of Little Luxuries, and I am so glad that you've chosen to spend some time with me. You're amongst great company here. These are my friends here in the comments, and we are so glad that you're here. We really are. OMG, Wreaths by Nancy says. OMG. Are you liking this? All right, so we're going to continue to add on. And do you see what I'm doing? There again, trying to equally space things out, okay? That's the trick to it, guys. Equally space these things out. And even though you're thinking, well, you can barely see that, guess what? It makes a difference in your design. Those little details will make the difference in your design. Can you see how that just pops right here to the side? You want that. Okay, you're loving the wreath. Thank you so much. But you love the pearls of wisdom even more. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. Guys, with that, with the pearls are my way of saying that I try to give you advice. Why? Because I don't want you to have to stumble through things that I had to stumble through. That's why. So I'm glad that you enjoy them. We are all very close. Yes. We are. A lot of us in this chat talk on a regular basis. I love these ladies. I call them my pocket of friends. And I'm better by knowing them. That's for sure. That is for sure. Love me some pearls. Well, thank y'all. Well, if you love them or not, I certainly give them out here, don't I? So I'm glad that you're fond of them. That's good to know because I certainly do talk a lot, don't I? I hope that it helps you. I really do. Okay. We've got glue strings galore, friends. Glue strings galore. They are everywhere. All right. I'm taking my own advice. I'm stepping back here behind the camera so that I can see exactly where else I want to put this. And I'm finding some spots where I want some more of this filler. Right here. Love being a, you are the pocket princess girl. Love your face. Really do. Y'all ever heard that saying? Who came up with that? Love your face. A way of saying I love you. Oh. Notice I'm shifting and moving. I tell you to bend these things where you want them, friends. Bend it where you want it so that the flowers are exactly where you want them to be. Now, I'm going to pause for a second because I want to show you something. Right here, I need something. But this is an area where the stem is going to have to be longer. I already recognize that. So I'm going to let the stem be longer so that it sticks out where you can actually see it right here. If I left that as a short stem and put it into my grapevine, nobody's going to get to see it. It's going to hide under this flower and it's going to hide under this bow. So watch this area right here and I'm going to show you. I'm going to push it up, but you see I left this stem really long. Okay? Crafting has brought a whole new happiness to my life. The people you meet along the way are a blessing. You got that right, girl. Hey, Miss Wendy. Hey, girl. Cat did. Cat, what are you doing? What's Cat doing? Cat, you know what? Actually, I know exactly what you're talking about. Love your face. You're exactly right, Grace. Cat says that to us. Love your face. That's it. And I love her too. All right. Now, did you watch that? I left that stem longer But look, if I would have cut that stem really short, you wouldn't have seen it. But do you see now how it peeks out right here? And we needed that. Why? Remember what I was telling you about building your foundation, going all the way around the wreath, right? I needed that right there. Even though it's not very dramatic, right? I needed that to stick out right there. All right. Love it. I'll have to fix that hanger, my bunny. It was heavier when we started. Don't be afraid to move that floral wire hanger around. Do you see how it's kind of like, that's because we're starting to now put the weight over here too. So at the end, you might have to move your floral hanger around a little bit. And that's okay. That's easy enough. Okay, let's continue on, friends. You know, there's rumor that this right here is popular. Y'all heard that? Y'all, everybody and their mama is making these beaded wreaths. They are loving them, okay? Absolutely loving them. And, well, I think they're very pretty too. But I've seen a lot of designers using this. A lot of places are sold out. You're exactly right. A lot of places are sold out of this. So if you see a place that's got it, grab it. Grab it, grab it, grab it, friends, because for whatever reason, this is very popular. And you're seeing a lot of people design with them, okay? Oh, did you just see that? Angela with Barrel of Wreaths. She has these in her shop, y'all. You better run. Don't walk. That's a friend that I trust, so she is creditable. You can go and order these, all right? Good to know. Good to know, friend. All right. They're gray, though. They're not green. They're gray. But still, run. Okay. We're going to add in just a few of these. Now, I like beaded grass. I like it when they're doing what you're seeing a lot of designers do. The all beaded grass wreaths are gorgeous. These also are great fillers. They add different textures. They stick out of your design, and I really, really, really like them a lot. Let me show you. I won't even glue this in. You see what this looks like? I'm going to go into the grapevine back here. I'm just going to not glue, but just put it here and show you. Maybe. You know, I fight with my grapevines too. Y'all ever do that? Because if I want something to go somewhere, look. Do you see what that does? It just adds texture, and then you can pull wherever you want it. And there it is. There it is. All right. Now I got to get it out and glue it because I do like it in there. Good gracious. All right. For my girls, use stem. Oh goodness. Did y'all see that? I just pinned that. There you go. So if you're looking for it, and that is a creditable place. That is my friend Angela. Okay, we're going to continue around with this bead grass. Angela is very kind. I really like her. She was one of the first designers I watched on the platform. Always enjoy her lives. She's very talented, but she's gotten into also having some supplies that she offers in her shop. But she is a sweet soul. She really is. Okay, I'm going to put this in here. And notice how I just do that and it branches out. My husband's offering me coffee. Not right now, dear, but thank you. I appreciate it. It's coffee 30, right? I'm hanging out with my friends in here.
Looks like it's snowing.
And he knows that it's snowing.
Looks like it. It's like a mixture.
Oh, man. Now, we just talked about this. I told my northern friends on here to keep that stuff out of here. And my husband just said there's snow mixed in it out here.
It's definitely, it may not be snow, but it's some wintry mix.
It's a wintry
you
mix.
can see it on the concrete.
Y'all, now I told you, this southern girl's ready for spring, and here we go with this mess again. Oh well. Anyway, let's move on. Tell him I don't. You guys know, some of you that, you know, we chat regularly, you know about this time, literally, yes, about this time, he will bring me a cup of coffee, or he doesn't drink coffee, he drinks hot tea. But I'll either be the one to make him tea, but most of the time, it's him bringing me in a cup of coffee. And so he was asking, which was really kind, but I don't believe it'd be a good idea for me to be on here drinking coffee trying to make this wreath. No. You're happy you live in Florida, Laurel. Shh. Shh. Now, I'm glad you do too. Girl, I'm telling you. I was picking with Yashira the forecast earlier, which y'all know, no offense, but meteorologists never have to be right. So earlier they were talking about we were going to get some mess, blah, blah, blah. You know, thank God we didn't get all that they were talking about. But I told her, so that's it. That's it. I'm moving to Florida. That's it. I don't even like sand. But I'm going to move to Florida because I'm tired of this. She was laughing about it. You're getting snow tonight, Nancy? Oh, man. Guys, like I said, it's beautiful. And, you know, I can handle a little bit of it. But I'm just ready. I try to enjoy every season. I'm fortunate. I do live in a state where, for the most part, we experience every season. And it's beautiful. But there comes a point where I'm over it. And I like longer, sunshiny days. I enjoy sitting on my porch with my hubby, and, you know, right now I just can't do that. Do you guys literally see me take that bead grass and I'm positioning it where I want it? And sometimes, y'all, it's a little bit too wild. You got to calm it down. We will be adding something else right here. I'm not sure what, but we do need something right in that area in a minute. I will certainly be adding it. I am literally going around. This piece right here is for nothing more than texture. That's it. It's just another layer of texture. And if I don't like something, I'll rip it out or I'll maneuver it till it's where I want it to be. Just like that little piece of bead grass right there. All right. We're going to come back over here. Adding in this. Guys, how many times as a wreath maker do you think we touch these ribbon tails when we're designing? I would venture to say a lot. I know that I do because it gets on my nerves to see them messed up. Although I know as we're designing, we're going to have to adjust them again. Hey, Teamy. Hey, girl. And they said they didn't. That's right. Hey, Taylor. Hey, there's my sign-making friend. That's Miss Taylor. Girl, I hope you're feeling better. I got a puzzle piece. Phew, verified. Thank you so much for the gifts. I appreciate it. That's my friend who makes signs. She is so talented, y'all. Super duper talented. I love watching. I have her sign out on my porch, on my screened-in porch. She made a porch sign for me. It is gorgeous. So very, very talented individual, Miss Taylor. If you're not following her, she is right in there in the comments. Go ahead and give her a follow. You will not be sorry. She is so fun to watch. Super responsive, talks to you, and really down to earth, but very talented sign maker. So y'all give her a follow, okay? And girl, I hope you're feeling better. I hope you're feeling better. I hope it was just something you ate or something like that. All right. I'm looking, and I don't like that. Did you guys see me put that in there? You know I'll rip it right out because I am not about that being right there. We're taking it out. Okay. Fluff this around. You're feeling a lot better. Oh, you're welcome, honey. I'm glad that you are feeling better. Yeah, Taylor's fun to watch. She has the skills with those wood signs that I do not have. She has the templates and she's cutting all that stuff out and doing all the things. And I'm like, nope, I cannot do that. However, I appreciate her talent and love watching her. I watch her almost every night. We're going to come right here. Do you guys see that? I want you to be able to see this, especially if you're a wreath maker. You'll start to notice places where I call them bare spots. Right here. There's nothing under that rose. So we have a choice. We could either add the ficus, which I already have ficus right here, or just a little bit of that white filler bush. So, thank you, Alicia. Hey, girl. You've been making some pretty stuff. You've been making some pretty stuff. See, y'all, when I tell you this community is awesome, look at all these talented wreath makers in here. And y'all know we don't have to watch each other. We just love each other. So we watch each other. Support each other. I don't really love that bead grass here. I might be manipulating that one too. Much better. It's just a little too wild right there. See how easy that pulls out? Now all I gotta do, if you do that, is take the glue off of the stem that's dried and reapply. She is late. Yeah, Taylor Girl is later. She is later, but I'm normally, you guys know, I'll lay in there and watch, but let's see, use that, it will take time and earn. Oh yeah, did you hear that? There's Angela. Use that, she says. Use that. Thanks, girl. I want this bead grass, but I don't want it that wild. So we're going to have to do something with it. And if it doesn't cooperate, we'll leave it out and I'll put something else there. But I think I can make it work. That's much better. Before, the bead grass, sometimes you have to maneuver because it can just kind of be too wild. Sticking out all kinds of crazy, and we didn't want that. So that worked out better. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Do you guys like that? Isn't that coming together so nicely? We've got ficus in there. We've got bead grass in there. We've got white filler bushes. We've got these little floral bushes. And then the main focal flower are those white ranunculus. And man, what a statement this has made. Like I said, the camera doesn't really do this justice. But this bunny is like a powder blue or a light blue, and it is just pulling your eye right to these blues, and then the white break that up. It really is a beautiful design. For those of you in my life who are not going to make a wreath and you're looking for something in your door, this will be listed later. I've got to do all the fun things that come with getting this listed. I got to take some glamour shots. I got to do the price calculation, all the things that come along with that. But you love the blues. Thank you, girl. I do too. I think that it turned out really pretty. And then at the end, you know, you always go out. You can fluff your ribbons. You be the boss of those ribbons. Don't let it be the boss of you. And remember what I told you about not tying the zip tie down too tight because it loses the loops. Okay? It loses the loops. I had some little tulips, and I was thinking about it. Let me show you, though. It's going to be too much. But I am going to show you this just because we're here together. These are little tulip guys. And I was going to put them in and find a spot. See, I think it's just too much. Too much. Then I also had, I told y'all I always pull out so much of this stuff over here. I also had out, now this is cute. These are little mini ranunculus. Do you guys see this? And let's just see what that would have looked like. Let's cut this down a bit. Just see. Because sometimes it might work. I might love it. See, it's just too much. It's just too much. So if we just kind of keep it simple with those ranunculus and those blues, I think we're going to be better off. I'll save that. Where did I get these? Craft Outlet, girl. They're under the mini section. They come in different colors. Run, don't walk, run. They're wonderful. They come with a thicker, kind of like Real Touch stem. And you guys know my trick with this. You can pull that stem off if you just want the wire. Okay? Matter of fact, it just came out. Let me show you that. If you want to work with this and you're like, that doesn't stick into the grapevine very well, you guys remember I told you, that pulls right out, and then you have just the metal stem. Okay? All right, we're about to call this one done. Okay? Thanks for hanging out. Reminders. Guys, February the 26th, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I am doing a collaboration with Creek Road Designs. My friends Greg and Michelle have given me some beautiful products to work with. You can check out, I posted a TikTok video today, and you can go ahead and check. I put the item numbers there for you so that if you want to design alongside of me that night, you can. It's a great way to be able to make a grapevine and have somebody come alongside and show you the ropes of how to do that. The only thing that you will need on your own is your grapevine. Okay, Creek Road does not have grapevines that they offer, but all the other things, I already have the video, the reference numbers, and all the things right there for you in the video. So I hope you'll join me. Once again, that is February the 26th, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll have fun. If you don't want to design or you're not a wreath designer, come and hang out. Okay, it's always a great time. It's fun. We have a lot of stuff going on in the chats, very interactive. Greg and Michelle, one or both, are here with us, and it's just a lot of fun to get together for that. So mark your calendars and join me. Love this. Absolutely love this. I'll have it listed. Like I said, I'll tweak it a little bit. Y'all know I put little touches on it when I'm done here. Do the glamour shots and all the things, and this will be listed soon. As always, thank you guys for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. I am back on a live schedule. You're going to see more of me. You're probably going to get sick of me. We're going to have some pearl time sometime soon. I'll be putting a video just like I did today, telling you that I'm going live, but we're going to have some pearl time for sure. Thank you for all the hearts, the likes, the shares, the gifts, your time, the comments here. I appreciate you being here. I really, really, really do. Okay? And what's that? Let's see. You'll love them. Yes, they're prettier than Hoblob, Angela's saying. So y'all go check that out. She gave you the link there to do it. And thanks, guys. I'll see you around, okay? You're so welcome, guys. Love you guys.